Here's what we'll be looking at in this reading, Aquarius. We're going to ask Spirit, first of all, what is important around you, in the environment around you, that needs your attention or something that you need to be aware of. Number two, Number two, what Spirit wants you to take your energy off. In other words, what Spirit doesn't want you expending any energy on, if anything, if you're wasting energy on anything. Number three, what Spirit wants you to know would be a very good use of your energy, okay? Not just for you, but for humanity, all right, and for Spirit. Number four, what you don't know about how you have contributed, what Spirit has appreciated about. We're gonna ask Spirit to explain, show us something that you don't realize, something good that you've done that you don't realize. Number five, what Spirit wants you to stop worrying about, or what you don't need to worry about. And finally, we're going to ask for guidance. I find that when you ask for advice, you're not going to get it, because Spirit wants you to make your own decisions. But we could ask for guidance on how Spirit feels you can assist Spirit or assist humanity. So that would be, this would be charitable work, or, what we sometimes call the Make Work Project. All right, so I'm just going to pause the tape while I'm dying to see this, by the way. I'm going to pause the tape while I shuffle a little bit more for you, and then we're going to get started. All right, so 2 more hard and 2 more soft, and we're beginning with the question. Okay, Spirit, so what is important? What does Spirit want you to notice that's going on around you that you just need to notice, you need to be aware of? What is important around you that needs your attention, or at least your, Spirit, what Spirit needs you to be aware of, okay? In 2 soft, what is important around you in the environment, one more, that Spirit wants you to be aware of, or to at least keep an eye on, or put your attention on? The earth. Oh my God, guys, wow. Okay, well, I just got a drop. My stomach just flipped there a bit, and I'll tell you why. I'm probably, I'm being a worrywart here, okay? Do you know that, and I have to confess, and I'm ashamed to confess this, I really am. I only realized yesterday, I think it was last night, that this card often comes up for the earth. And it makes sense because it's Mother Earth. She is really, when you think about it, Arthur Waite was right about everything. He called her she's like the inferior. She's the queen of the inferior Garden of Eden. In other words, the inferior Garden of Eden is the physical. But, I don't mean to say that the earth is inferior, but the superior Garden of Eden, of course, would be where it all comes from, would be the heaven, or whatever you would like to call it, the Akashic Records. And who guards that? Who is the queen of the superior Garden of Eden? The High Priestess. It's the subconscious, that which you cannot see, touch, taste, smell. Fire cannot burn it. Water cannot wet it. It is. It never dies. All right, now, so that's the earth. All right. So now, the Emperor. Boy, oh boy. By the way, I do not feel that this is right now. This is in no way referring to a divine couple. This is the earth, and this is a Jerk. These are the people. This is the rulers, the people in power. Who are bombing people, and just look at the fire, and everything. This person has a lot of power. Just look at the way, he's looking over at the earth, looking over. I don't know why he's looking at Mother Earth that way. Maybe he's thinking, I should lay off the earth, stop bombing the earth, stop, all these, every time, a plane is shot down, this stuff goes down into the ocean, fuel, and it's just, anyway, don't get started, please. Sorry, guys. What you need to be aware of. All right, so what I'm feeling right here, wow. This is a very magical thing, whatever this is. Aquarius, look, this could be, beam me up, Scotty, this could be going into another dimension or another place. So what you need to be aware of, all right? What you need to be aware of is this person. This just represents the rulers of the world who are destroying everything. For them, power is everything. Power is everything. Now, what I feel that we're getting here, do you know the two things about this? Somebody is you're distancing yourself here from this absolutely, ruthless person. There's fire here all around it. You're distancing yourself. You're traveling, and you're also incognito. You're concealed. There is a ferryman. This is a person who drives this, whatever this vessel is. And do you notice the swords? Do you know what those are? And notice how they're all lined up. It has to do with mental. And I don't mean that these are worries. There's something here having to do with the mind. So over here, that turbulence here is the turbulence caused by what's going on. These ruthless leaders who are causing nothing but turbulence. And these are calm waters. This ferryman is pushing off the shore of the Five of Swords, where, the low vibrational energy is. What I want you to, what Spirit wants you to be aware of is that you will be assisted. You need to be aware that there could be a need for you to be expecting for a ferryman to show up and say, let's go. I'm going to take you somewhere beautiful. Just look at that beautiful place there, wherever that is. There are green trees there, calm water. It doesn't really look like, I got to get my glasses out. That does not look like Earth. No joke, guys. I'm telling you. My stomach flipped when these cards came out, okay? And I kid you not, it was only last night that I realized that this, and I'm going to confess now how that happened. So, when I do readings myself, when I'm just trying to figure out what's going on, what people are thinking and feeling, and I know a lot of you are readers, so I'm going to give you a little trick to figure out. If you want to know, for example, I was trying to figure out if some of these leaders of the world in the U.S. and in Canada, I figured to myself, if they're aware, if NASA is aware of some catastrophic event that's coming that they haven't warned us about, because I want to point something out. With NASA's site, notice that these asteroids don't show up on the site sometimes for about 4 or 5 days right before either they're just showing up and NASA doesn't know about it, or they're waiting to the last minute to tell us about it. Anyway, so what I wanted to do was I wanted to find out. I figured I would ask Spirit, what is Elon Musk thinking and feeling about what's going on and what was the other person I was going to test? I can't remember. I picked certain people because I figured if something is going on, they will know. So for each person that I chose, I kept getting I did get some very concerning cards, but I kept getting the Empress. The Empress. And at first I thought, my goodness, are these all their wives? And then I realized, no. And I actually clarified. I said, what is the Empress? And you know what I got? The World. And then I remembered. Some of you talk of Gaia. I know a lot of you have a really, really excellent terminology that you use for certain energies. And I've heard a lot of you, and I've read in the comments, you speaking of the earth as if it were, sort of a personification here. Anyway, you're right. So what's happening here? What Spirit wants you to be aware of, something that's going on around you that needs your attention, or something that you need to be aware of, is there's the earth, there's Mother Earth. Okay, this is a jerk. Yeah, look at this. Wow. Yeah, you need to be aware of the earth. Yeah, and this person is striking. There's something else here too. There's something else. This is somebody in a position of power who's watching you. They may be watching where you're going. This person may be aware that you're safe. Whoa. Guys, I think that's what it is. Whoa, is it ever? Because there's another ruler. Whoa. So not only is this the earth, Mother Earth, it's you. Do you know what why this guy is looking at you, watching you? Do you know why this guy is jealous and ready to jump out? Do you know why? Do you know why they're spying on you? And do you know what that fish is up there? That they're birds. They represent in this. I don't often, when I notice something in a card, it's related to what I'm about to say. This time, that fish is feelings, and these people, what's going through their minds it's thought and feelings. It's jealousy, curiosity. It's their feelings are inextricably linked to their thoughts, and they want to know. Well, you know what they want to know? How you're doing this. And which tells me that they have been told by someone, because these people are idiots. Someone has informed them that you're being beamed up. Beam me up, Scotty. Wow. For all, if you, some of you are also fans of Truth Seeker, and there are some independent. There's a lot of crap on YouTube, but there are occasionally you'll hit a very, very reliable, credible news source. There's a guy called Truth Seeker, and he's excellent. He has discovered that the very top of the top, the uber rich people, they have all been building bomb shelters, basically underground, literal bomb shelters. But you know what? There isn't a bomb shelter that they can't put it down deep enough. They are not safe from Judgment Day. They're not, and it's because of what they've done. Look how safe you are. You're being and what's interesting is the concealment there. All right. So what Spirit wants you to be aware of is that these people, you're being watched. You're being watched because these people know, they've been told by someone. I'm going to find out in a minute how do they know this. They know that they can't, all the money in the world, all the threats that they cannot buy protection, spiritual protection. They can't save their lives. Not billions and billions and zillions of dollars can't save their life. This is where it comes down to the heavy hitters of who was loyal and faithful, who trusted their intuition, who empathized with people, who helped, the unpopular person or the bum on the street who's vomiting or something and is going into seizures, who risked looking like, embarrassing themselves. You did. You didn't care what other people thought. Who has a respect for the truth? You do. I don't say you always demand it, but some of you do. Some of you do. You want the straight up, clear, clean, bloody truth. And you know what? That truth, that's it. That's God. God is truth. You don't even have to add anything else, because truth, you find it in your heart. See, you can't find a truth unless you're feeling empathy for others, unless your heart is open. That's it. That's all it is. True. If you make decisions based on your heart, your feeling, what you'll always know what's right. This is really something. So these are very, very, very domineering, manipulative rulers. They are tough. They are cruel. These could be people in the Middle East. And I bet they are, and I'll tell you why, because, nobody in North America, no president or prime minister over here is going to bother to believe, the problem is these people here have been running on religion, which is it's this doctrine. That's it. It's just a skeletal doctrine, an external doctrine, and they've lost connection with their heart. Sorry about the abrupt break there. My camera did this little switch off thing when it overheats. Anyway, let's go on. I think what we're looking at now is what Spirit wants you to 100% take your energy off. In other words, whatever this is, this Spirit considers to be a waste of your precious energy. Spirit wants you to put it in another direction, which we'll look at in a moment. We're looking at what Spirit wants you to take your energy off 100%. In other words, this would be something that Spirit, was just pointing out that it's energy wasted. Okay, is Spirit So in 3, what do you want Aquarius to stop expending energy on? One more. What do you want Aquarius to stop? Here it is right here. So whenever we get the Lovers card, we can clearly see that there is a very important choice. And there's the 6 of Swords, meaning that Spirit wants you to sail away from that 10 of Pentacles energy. Here you are moving. You could be physically distancing yourself from 10 of Pentacles energy, from, people who just worry about material things, and you've made a firm decision to choose peace and move on. So right there, we have nothing but obligation, family, money, possessions. One of the sort of aha moments that I had recently regarding a scripture is that, and I'm absolutely certain of this, that Spirit does not want people to be here to hoard money, so to save it up so you can pass it along. I want you just to look around wherever you are right now. If you're in a room, are there chairs? Are there a table? Is there a building? And your body, all the things that are all of the matter, in other words, energy that takes up space. All of this stuff that you're looking at right now, I guarantee you that 2,000 years ago, it was not here. It was not in the manifest. Just take anything around, take a lamp, a clock. Did that exist 2,000 years ago? No, and probably the wood or the metal that it was made of did not exist. All the materials, all the elements that we deal, all of the sources of creation, all of it, where everything comes from. Think of the material that we use to make things. All of that material came from the unmanifest, all of it. I mean, the easiest way to think about it is you take a seed, you can have it in your purse for 4 years, then you plant it, and it grows into this giant tree. Now, if you were taping that, videotaping that, and you sped it up into high speed, and you would see something coming from nothing all of a sudden. So you see, we are living here in a place where energy needs space. In this 3D, matter cannot be created or destroyed. Matter cannot be created here in the 3D or destroyed. But obviously it is created and destroyed, but not in the 3D. Notice the word matter. So matter, we know that we're in the 3D when we use the word matter. Why? Because in the 3D, energy requires a finite amount of space. In other words, I cannot walk through your body. In the quantum field, those rules do not apply. It's very hard to imagine. So all creation takes place in the quantum field. There is no profit here. Now, in this, if we were to translate here, in Ecclesiastes, it's called under the sun. Okay? All things are full of labor. Man cannot utter it, in other words, produce it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. The thing that hath been is that which shall be. In other words, all of the things that we think we're consuming, they're going to come back again, but we're not creating them, okay? And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. In other words, in this 3D, our capabilities, we do not create anything new. Nothing. It's all done in the other realm. What does that mean? That means there is no profit under the sun. Spirit did not want us to identify with material things. They are not real. They're for us to consume, to experience with our 5 senses, to enjoy a wonderful meal, to spend money on your granddaughter. It is not. When you hoard money, and you might say, oh yeah, but I want to give it away. Well, the problem is, so let's say that you're saving up money so you can pass it along to a child or something. Well, here's the problem. If that's important to you, then you're going to have a fear of losing it. Do you see what I mean? I'm reading the scripture here. Let me just read further. And I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. This sore travail hath God given to the sons of men to be exercised therewith. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, in other words, that man does, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. Now let me explain. Vanity and vexation of spirit means you are identifying yourself with material, assigning importance or feeling good because that material thing you have and you're keeping it. No, actually, it's not real. It doesn't have any importance. It is important only in the sense that you are to interact with it, enjoy it, see it with your eyes, taste it with your mouth, enjoy it, however, if it's a boat that you're sailing on or a car that you're driving in. But once you start feeling happy because of that thing, or because you've got it in the bank, or it makes you feel secure in you, do you see what's happening? You start needing things, attachment, and in comes the fear of losing it. The fool doesn't have anything in that bloody backpack. You know what's in the fool's backpack? Subconscious memories that the fool will unpack at some point. Notice how light the fool travels. Okay? Spirit was also very, so in other words, when you read Ecclesiastes, all right, it took me years to really understand this stuff, and mainly because the language, we really don't have a proper interpretation of how language and some of the words that are used. For example, all things under the sun, it took me a long time to realize that means in right here, under the sun means on earth, here, right here. Now, let me explain something else. So God also did not want us to kill ourselves working, laboreth. God didn't want us to be attached to money or think that we needed it, because that means we don't have faith that we can produce it, we can manifest it the next day. God did not want us to rack up degrees and titles. There's a very strong message in Ecclesiastes. Wisdom is not a degree or how much you've learned from man. Because guess what? Most of it is not true. I learned in school that some man created the periodic table. That's a lie. God created it because element number 7. Why is it element number 7? Why is it in box number 7? Because in its nucleus, it has 7 protons. Why is element number 20 element number 20? Because in the nucleus of that atom, there are 20 protons. A man did not do that. God did that. There are so many things that man tries to plagiarize, put his name on it and say that he did it. What an idiot. And now we have 4 moronic astronauts, morons, NASA, trying to penetrate the Van Allen belt, and they know not what they do. They are tinkering with something. Those idiots, because they have no faith in God and no belief, what they're on the verge of doing is bringing something to a stop so that children will be born and they will not be able to breathe. And no one will be able to be resurrected. And, these people, these morons, man is a moron, a dodo head. Anyway, so I'm going to shut up now and move on. Okay. So we're going to hear something. I'm sure in this reading about caring about riches and the importance of your family, money, and all that stuff. Anyway. Stop. I feel like Spirit does not want you to be making any decisions based on money, material things. We've got somebody here who is looking to Archangel Raphael. I'm going to clarify this. Good Lord. It kind of suggests... Anyway. What's under here? There's something under there. 4 of Swords. What do you want Aquarius? It'll make sense in a moment. What is Aquarius? What is wasting? What is a waste of energy, please? What is a waste of energy? Defending yourself against your family. Making choices based on what your family thinks, okay? This person is wasting a hell of a lot of energy, okay? They're defending themselves, and they're having to. I think I know what this is. So this is a King of Swords. I feel like this is kind of like a father. Okay, over here are parental authorities. There's a very there's a grandfather there. These people are very. This has been passed down and down and down and down. Okay, so this is family, okay? It has to do with the commitment. This is something else. I'm going to come back to this in a minute. Over here, what is under here? what's happening here is this person has the energy of, somebody who's very logical and just deals with money. And this person is almost getting off on, just look at the look on this person's face. They're smiling and they're looking down on this person. And right now, let's just say this is me, okay, trying to explain. Let's say I'm being attacked by, someone that I consider to be an authority figure in my family. And they're saying, why are you doing tarot? It's such a waste of time. Why don't you go back and do such and such? What are you wearing? Why are you, that type of thing. So here I am trying to explain, but, and the energy that it takes up to defend oneself. It's better just, you know what I do? I just sit there when I'm dealing with somebody who, in my family, who is judgmental. I just sit there and I just smile and I say, you're right. Now, there are times, though, when somebody crosses a line. If somebody crosses a line, you just need to walk away and you need to make it clear that they can't be, be abusing, treating you like a doormat. Spirit is saying, do not, care not about what these people think. This is a long, yes. Do you know why your family is coming up in the Ten of Pentacles here? Because the Ten of Pentacles has nothing to do with love. It has everything to do with obligation and, what you ought to do and the passing down, da. The point here is that, believe it or not, DNA, the fact that you're biologically related to someone doesn't mean a thing. It means nothing. I don't know why we assign so much importance to it. It's important, I suppose, if you're trying to research, whether or not you've inherited some gene for such and such, or you need a donor for such and such. Those are situations where it might be important, but it has nothing to do with, you shouldn't automatically be respecting these people. No. Why? Why should you assign importance regarding your self-worth and choices that you make? Now, obviously, the problem is, when we are vulnerable and we're children, we're not able to make money. We have to attend school. This is the way we have things set up is pretty crappy. But so it is very difficult because these are the authority figures. It's very difficult to get yourself out of the illusion that these people are right about everything. And it's a very uncomfortable process when you realize, oh my God, they're not right. I'm not crazy. Yes, everyone in my family is toxic. They're all wrong, and I'm right. And they all are driving me nuts. And so what if they still, hate you? Who cares? They may still criticize you and hate you even more, look down on you. Who gives a shit? Because at the end of the day, excuse my language, please. Spirit just told me to apologize to you. At the end of the day, it was never between you and them. It's between you and God. Okay? So it's a total, utter waste of your energy. You just smile, you just smile, put on look at it as a tester. Sephira number 5, you tell them they're right about everything, you shut the hell up and get out of there as soon as you can. If you're in an unfortunate situation where you cannot bond properly, where the people in your family don't have a strong faith in God, make fun of you because you believe in God, roll their eyes, won't meditate with you, feign interest in your spirituality. Anyways, you can tell a little bit of hostility here. Yeah, look at this. There is a deeper meaning here. You see, the problem is, some of these people, I'm almost afraid to say this, you want to keep your distance between anyone who doesn't have a strong faith and spirit, or spend as little amount of time as possible with these low vibrational people. As little amount of time as possible. Okay? Because I want to tell you how they really feel about you. So this is what you're seeing. Are you coming over for, yeah, okay, yeah, excellent, okay. This is how they're feeling. And this is what they want to do. That's really what's behind it. All right? Sorry. I want you to notice something. A minute ago, I saw a castle that I thought looked from the 1500s, 1502, late 1400s, something like that. And there was something pretty horrible that happened to the Muslims and the Jews in a decree. They were forced to the Christians, the Christianity, us, or most people who are listening to this. Well, I don't know. Anyway, the Jews and the Muslims were forced by decree, by law, to give up their religion and adopt Christianity. So before we roll our eyes and say, "Oh my God, why are they?" We did a lot of damage. We did a lot of damage as a collective. Well, we love to sit back and criticize them, but we, back before this all started, we were tearing them down, tearing down their, Muslims and Jewish people, making them, forcing them to adopt our Bible, forcing them to do that. How dare we do that? How dare we? So, is it any wonder? So we have to look at what's going on in the Middle East. Well, we should be ashamed of ourselves as well for what we did to them. That was, very sick. And just look at the desolation here, I mean, I'm sure it looks much worse over there. How about, like that? We were all a part of this. So look, and so, you need to know that it is a privilege to have, to be able to have freedom of thought and to be able to, to really embrace your own beliefs. Okay? So you have to shake off if you're any feelings of obligation because they're family, any worries about money, if they're criticizing you because you didn't choose the right partner, or they want you to make a commitment to someone, or they want you to have children, or they don't like the children that you had. Stop dealing with them. Stop it. It's a waste. These are low vibrational energies. They're on a very low level of spiritual development. They have their own journey. Just respect it and get out of their line of vision, because Spirit has more important things for you to do. Okay, let's go on to the next question. All right, so we're now going to look at what would be a good way to invest your energy. What is worthwhile doing? Whoa. Writing. It is written. I think I know what this is. I know exactly what this is. I will double check what I believe this is. This is written. This is something that is written, and here you're posting it. You're repeatedly writing. It is written. So you could be journaling, but these are scriptures, I think. You know what you're doing? You're translating. You're translating the word of God here, I feel. And because the Knight of Cups, so in this energy, the idea here is to present something in the right way, in the right manner. It's right, and it's in at a canter. It's something that can be digested, and you're being open and honest. So I also think just in very general terms, there is something that you're very good at. With the Eight of Pentacles, that person is really good at doing what they're doing. They enjoy that work. They get lost in it. It's also something that you're presenting. There's an artistry to it. So it's interesting that we're getting this idea of creation here under the sun, but notice what you're doing. There is something that you're very, very good at doing, but it involves that the Knight of Cups involves your artistic presentation of that. So it's like you're working with the materials that have already manifested, and you are doing this, which is in your artistic way, you are presenting something, and you're presenting the authentic version of it. And notice how those are the wings of Hermes, the messenger of God. You are conveying the true, authentic version of whatever you're creating from whatever God created. The next question is, this is going to be so fun to see. I can't wait to see this. Spirit is now going to show us what you have already done that is a significant contribution. So this would be something that you really haven't, you're not really giving yourself credit for this, okay? I keep hearing these banging noises out there. Sorry. Spirit, show me what has Aquarius already done that has made a significant impact? Show me. Wow, God, you guys are amazing. Whoa. You are the star. Wow. 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 This could, by the way, this may be something you did in a past life. It's an idea of resurrection here. Anyway, in general, you have hope. The star has hope. The star heals. The star, you've treated the environment well. You've appreciated the environment. You have been a loyal, faithful servant of God. And you're on your knee there, kneeling before God. You're connecting the physical world with the spiritual world here. But there's something about resurrection here. But what I'm looking at mostly, look at the earth. Look at the earth. Water, the earth, the stars, the trees, birds. Look at the world in your hand. Look at everything here. So and look at the fertile rods. Look, in a very simple way, you trust that you appreciate and love the earth, Mother Earth, and you nurture it, you respect it, you care about it, Now, by the way, this doesn't mean that, what I'm talking about here is someone who recognizes that they are a part of this, who recognizes that we have to nurture and care for the earth because, there are animals that depend on the sun, the moon, the stars, for whether they migrate or hibernate, or you get the idea, You've chosen to do this. And I believe that as well, you've had faith and hope, despite the fact if this is a ruthless leader who's about to do something ruthless, thinks he has the world in his hand there. By the way, I think that's God there. I think there's an illusion here. This was a gift, Look at the end. You loved it. You just loved it. You appreciated it. You respected it, and you love these stars. And you just love everything. You love the earth. You loved the earth. That's all God wanted it. And it looks like with the 7, there are 8 stars here, but the 7 smaller ones. You were natural and connected to the earth. Look at you being nude there. natural and connected to the earth. I rest my case. Did you hear that? By the way, that squawking bird is an absolutely gorgeous, giant, fat blue jay. And it just, it's really weird. When I looked out, I was trying to figure out what kind of a squawker is that? And just this absolutely beautiful, I hope that the cats aren't out there torturing them anyway. But it's all connected, right? Anyway, the 7... So you'll notice here, so there's, you're pouring water in something. There's the earth, these 7 little stars. I always think of all the cards with the star card and the 7 of cups. I do see these 7 stages of alchemy in it. What does that mean? The natural alchemical processes that God set up, distillation, coagulation, boiling, evaporation, everything we needed to combine the elements to make food and all that stuff, the natural chemical processes, there are 7 of them. There were originally 22 basic elements. And so, in other words, when you rely on these 7 natural processes that occur and to make your food and to build things, whether you're building, metals or wood or whatever, those processes will never fail you because it will not hurt nature. Why? Because those processes will never hurt the atom. When you with those alchemical processes, when you break down something to its basic building blocks, you will always get electrons and protons in an atom. And the photons you can't see them because they're God. But it's interesting because when you look up alchemy or these 7 alchemical processes, there's sort of a perverted definition of it now on the internet. Or if you look up the definition of elements like carbon, oxygen, what are elements? And it'll say something like the elements are the smallest particles that you can break down without using a nuclear. It's now they have to pervert it. There shouldn't be any other chemical process other than these. God, what did we create? Disaster. What did we create? We created a nuclear weapon which could only hurt the earth, hurt people. We're idiots. Man is an idiot, a moron. And nothing's changed. Look at what's going on right now. Children drowning, people dying, and money, instead of spending it on helping people here, we're piling it over to fight a war for more. What an asshole man is. God damn it. Sorry. God almighty. But see, now do you see? Now, aren't you proud to be you? Something as simple as just appreciating what's here. That's all God wanted, That's why. Do you know what this card also represents, Aquarius? Resurrection, immortality. Immortality. 2 left. So this will be something that Spirit wants you to stop worrying about. Okay? So in other words, this is something like this is more like how Spirit is going to abate any fear or anxiety that you have now. It's not necessarily something that you're doing. It's something that is lingering. It could be something that you're uncertain about. So Spirit is going to take care of that right now. Just before I go on, just imagine now, man, how smart he thinks he is. So what he wanted to do when they split the atoms, they wanted to figure out what's running this. Because they don't believe in God at all. So why is that electron? Where does the electron get its energy? Something we can't see, the photon. So they keep breaking it down because they have no faith. But anyway, just imagine now. So man, gets this big laboratory, figures out how to squeeze out after, all these years and millions and billions of dollars, They figure out how to bring something from the unmanifest into the manifest. They figure out how to pop out an electron. Oh, big deal. Whoa, aren't you smart? Aren't you smart? But do you see how absolutely ridiculous that is? Because how they will never, they are not the creator. They are a fraudulent, plagiarizing dummy. Right? Humpty Dumpty is what they are, It's compared to the incredible, absolutely intricate, incredible creatures in this earth that we've got jellyfish. We have immortal jellyfish, for crying out loud, So man is a copycat. He's jealous that man, the rich man who has no faith. And guys, for my male subscribers, for my devout, loyal, faithful servants of God, the masculine. I know there are some of you out there, not very many. Please forgive me, okay? I do not mean to address you. I mean to address the people who would never listen to this. They every now and then I'll catch them, right? You might see a really caustic comment coming up. And I usually what I start doing is I start typing something. And then I realize, I don't want to get down on their energy. But then I will look at the cards to see what they're thinking and feeling. And do you know what? They're all terrified. Terrified. Anyway, all right, let's just keep going. We are now looking at what Spirit does not want you to worry about. What does Spirit want you to stop worrying about? What does Spirit want you to, that you don't need to worry? What does Spirit want you to not spend one more in two more, please? What does Spirit want you to stop worrying? You can stop worrying about this. You can stop worrying. You can stop worrying about this. Wow. Oh, I hate that card. I gotta figure out what this is. Stop worrying about this. It looks like you might be worried that you're coming across as, making up a story or exaggerating. I'm just gonna clarify. Eight of Swords, whoa, and the Nine of Wands. So you're being there's an idea of being wary there, and over here, you're in the Eight of Swords. Oh, I know what this is. I think, all right. I think that Spirit wants you to stop worrying about other people, okay? In fact, Spirit does not, okay, so that I'm going to run this again on another deck just to see. First of all, I'm going to break it up. What is the card worrying about? What is a worry or a concern? Oh, another card. Well, I should have a look at this. Put yourself out there and you'll be rewarded one way or another. I know what this is. Stop worrying about what other people think. Don't worry about the non-believers. There are some people who are going to think that we're telling a lie. I still have friends that think that that I'm doing a magic trick with the cards. That could be a group of popular people or, a group, they're tightly knit. And there you are saying something that's artistic and something that they are going to think is crazy. They won't believe it. That's why you're coming up in the Page of Cups. They think that you're out of your mind. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? You know the truth. You know the truth. For every single one of you that has ever, think back in your lifetime, you've definitely seen a miracle. At least one. Don't take that for granted because that prayer was answered. You were connecting with that divine matrix. Your thoughts were expanding out into that quantum field. You did co-create. You did bring that about. That was not random. That was not a coincidence. Because our logical mind tends to say, oh, no, but that would have happened anyway. No, it wouldn't have. But for your faith, your hope, your prayer, whatever it was. Okay? Do not worry about a group of people, a conformist group of people, about what they think. let me just go back. Let me just bring this up right now. So there is a man, who came to earth, who did nothing but good things for people. He was friends with the lepers, and he absolutely was humorous and funny to be around and really inspiring, and stopped people from stoning a woman because she cheated on her husband. This person took risks for others, healed people, and that man was even though he didn't want to have anything to do with politics, he didn't want to be popular. He was trying to bring a gift of peace. So there were some very low vibrational people around who were afraid because everybody liked him. They were jealous and afraid that people wouldn't pay any attention to the kings anymore, even though they were absolutely, totally terrified of the way that people loved him. So here's what happened. So they charged him with something that he wasn't guilty of. He went on trial, and the judge acquitted him. And the judge said, I find this man has done nothing wrong. The harshest judge in the land. And those 3 cups people that think that you're crazy, that you're out of your mind, those people in the 3 of cups, they started mobbing and shouting and demanding that the judge reverse his finding and order that the man be executed, nailed to the cross and put to death. That group of people, that's that. Do you know who the 3 of Cups are? Who you're worried about that thinks you're nuts? That group of people, the type of people that they are, they go along with the majority. They don't expand their mind. They cannot believe in a miracle. They just absolutely, so you know what that turns into? Fear, hatred, and they were happy. Can you imagine those people that you're worried about what they think of you? Those are the kind of people that nailed Jesus of Nazareth to the cross. Now just get that out of your mind. Who gives a goddamn? Excuse me. Sorry, Spirit's telling me to apologize to you. Look, there is absolutely no doubt that he existed, that he was at a minimum, that he was a good person, and we executed him, tortured him. Okay? That's really, you start with that base. So you know that you would never be a part of that. So those people in that 3 of Cups, they are the kind of people that demand that person be put to death. You know why? Because of the majority. They like to be that tight-knit little sick little group. They come together and they work together. They don't want to be alone. It's not the same thing as 2 people who combine to make more than the sum of the whole. Though these are 3 people who just get kind of reduced and they make a toxic energy. They can't stand to be alone. Those people have no empathy, no heart. Don't you spend a single millisecond worrying that they think that you're crazy. Who cares? Who cares? Because at the end of the day, remember, it's not between you and them. It's between you and God. I'm just going to run it a little bit more, just using this deck. What is it that Aquarius does not need to worry about? What is it that Aquarius does not yet? Judgment. No. That's it. Look, do not worry. So here's you saying something. Here's you making the right choice. There, look at you looking up at Archangel Raphael, and you're worried about being judged by others. Do not worry about what those people think. Do not worry. And notice how here you could very well be talking about resurrection. There are 2 archangels here. Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Raphael. And I want to show you something. Over here, it's people who are, this could be, this could be a post on Facebook or something or whatever. These people, who knows what they're saying. When these people are you guys, I always get, support. But this could be, who knows what these people are going to say. Who cares? What Spirit wants you to do is get the word out anyway. Get it out. Because look at you, the archangel here. You're pleasing the archangel here. And this person, do you see how his head is still turned toward her? So you're looking up straight at the archangel, and look at how absolutely honored and grateful Raphael is there. And here the energy is, what are they going to clap? Are these people going to clap? Who cares? Just get this word out anyway. And notice how a while ago we had the Page of Pentacles. You were trying to get someone else elevated, ascended. There's no time for this now. Just forget it. These people, if they heard not the prophets, they had Moses, they had Jesus. They just forget it. Just get the word out. Just keep repeating it, and don't care about their reaction. It matters not. All right. It's an incredible split here. For those who serve, this is put very simply. Here's the message here. For those who make every single choice in their life based on their heart, look at the archangel holding your heart. Based on in your heart, when you're aligned with God, in other words, when you're not listening to the static of people, what does that person think? I'll call this lawyer and get an opinion. I'll call Mary, see what Mary thinks. No, don't talk to anyone and see what they think. Just listen to them and smile. Don't ask any person for their opinion. Do not do that. Stop it. The road. I suppose you could, if you're looking for information on how to run a washing machine or something. But when it comes to what should I do, if you are tuned in, you will never, sure, you're going to have to toughen up, and because all sorts of people are going to tell you what they think you should do. You just smile and think, I'll think about that, and don't think about it one bit. Because when you're fully immersed in unconditional love, and that means, number one, you have to have empathy for yourself. You have to feel, literally feel sorry for yourself, allow yourself to cry, to care, to mourn for yourself. If you're hungry, that's a shame. You deserve food. Just allow yourself some compassion. And that's really all you have to do. Do you know why? Because you're a part of God. If you don't have compassion for yourself, you don't have compassion for God. If you hate yourself or feel guilty, it's just you're kicking a puppy. God is a puppy. You're kicking a puppy. Do you want to kick a puppy? No, don't kick the puppy. Okay. I do realize that none of these bloody affirmations really work. The ones, I deserve, I'm worth it, I deserve. I don't find that those work at all. And I hate that. I deserve, blah, blah, blah. No. What it's about is feeling compassion for yourself, being able to cry for yourself. That's okay. That means you feel for yourself. It's not totally not. Don't you go getting pity from others. That's not what that's about. That's not what that's about. When someone is alone and they're crying, it is a form of having compassion for yourself. I find that the last time I cried like that, it was because I just felt very sad that I had lost a connection that I had with my family, and I felt very just sort of like I had been getting a cold shoulder, and that my family, I felt like they were judging me, and I felt very misunderstood, and so I was feeling sorry for myself, but that's okay. I was kneeling down the hallway, started crying, and you know what happened? Overcome all the cats, and that just makes me realize, wow, I've got all the unconditional love I need. That is an animal that truly, truly loves me. The cat comes over, and it starts just pressing up against me, and I'm crying, right? That cat loves me. That cat probably is the only being that loves me, I know you guys do too, but a lot of you really do love me, and I appreciate it, because you know it. Some of you actually email me when I haven't been posting, and you actually are so psychic. You're like, are you okay? That's love, and I really appreciate that. But what I'm saying is, have compassion for yourself. Go ahead and feel sorry for yourself in the sense that, yes, it's sad that, that people are acting the way they are. Go ahead and cry. They shouldn't be acting that way. Yes, you do deserve someone who loves you, the way that, someone who, you see what I'm about to say, someone who loves themselves enough to love you. So that's where it all, and this is extremely important, okay? Extremely important. All the love you need, you can actually give it to yourself. That Christ energy, think of it as the Holy Grail. There is an area in your body, by the way, where it is. And once I'm not saying you have to raise the Kundalini or, break into it, but once you start drawing upon that, and tears are very good, are very, very good. And you'll notice that sometimes when strangers see you cry, or if somebody catches you crying, normally, if it's a stranger or something, they can really, just with a word or two, be very healing. So it's not the people that do not expose your precious self to the motley crew. And that includes yakety friends, Mary Jo. You can have Mary Jo as friends if you want, but reduce the contact, okay? And anyone that's any little bit judgmental toward you, get them the hell out. There's no time for that. That's because they're judging themselves. And like I always say, look, you might say to yourself, well, yeah, but somebody's got to get a point across. You go ahead and email me and give me one example where you thought that someone was justified in saying something judgmental to you because you think you needed to hear it. Go ahead, send me an email, and I'm going to send you an email back, and I'm going to show you that whatever they said to you, it can easily be said in such a way as to raise your spirits. Okay, so there is absolutely no excuse for somebody making you feel bad, because it's a desecration to the spirit. Okay? The only thing that, look, I'll tell you when it's justified for someone to criticize you. If you are maintaining a lie. And in that case, it's totally justified in shouting and demanding the truth. If you are maintaining a lie, for some reason, for some reason that you think is advantageous to you, but I don't think you guys would do that. So if you're the other thing that you cannot do is leave someone in a state of confusion. There are many people who do that, and they do it because, let's say a guy hurt them for over an extended period of time, and so they want to get them back, so they've set it up so they just disappear all of a sudden, and they got that guy back. That will get you put back in the next lifetime. You might end up with both your legs off, okay? Because that's what happens when you treat people badly in this lifetime. If you don't atone for it, and that doesn't mean going back to, nobody wants to hear a goddamn apology. God wants to hear it. So all this AA and stuff where they get you to phone people, my God, what a stupid idea. What a stupid idea. It's not between you and them. And this is why people find it so difficult to get out of alcoholism. You ever watch people like Sarah Boone? what you'll notice about that, it's not really about the alcohol. Here's what it's about: denial. One of the things that people who think they're alcoholic, who drink a lot and they call themselves alcoholic, their real problem is denial. And it's absolutely maddening. Anyway, yeah, and the point here is in you not worrying about what other people think, is that it is not, right now, it does not matter whether or not what you're saying is actually working, or whether or not someone chooses to listen or not. Just get it out there. Speak the truth. That's all. Okay? Speak the truth. That's the least we can do after we, brutally murdered Jesus. And so many dropping, nuclear weapons and, oh God, on Hiroshima. We, man of this world, anyway. All right, now finally, here's the $1 million question. How can you assist spirit from here on? Can't wait to see this. I feel like this is going to be something very open-minded and, one of these real fresh ideas. Spirit, four more. How can Aquarius assist spirit from here on? Sorry, 2 more. How can Aquarius assist spirit? What can Aquarius do to assist spirit? Okay, here it is. So first of all, the 4 of Wands is perfected, Lord of perfected work. Okay? And there is the feelings associated with the 4 of Wands are welcoming, happiness, peacefulness. These people are welcoming you. Now look, I know this sounds crazy. You may be jumping timelines. Over here, what you're doing here is whatever's going on in the world around you, you're going to find peace in the stillness. You need to get very, very still. And the feelings that you're going to focus on here are happiness, peacefulness. So, peacefulness is if you're thinking, how the hell could I be happy? I'm broke right now. I'm hungry. What? Well, look, let me just suggest doing something. Get on YouTube and look up the wheelchair guy, or start watching videos where people were born with with severe deformities. Look, get out. If you've got 2 arms and 2 legs and you're not getting cancer treatments, you have no excuse to be unhappy. Just change your mind. Find a way to find the good. Let's say you get thrown in jail. You can, here's what's not going to happen. You get thrown in jail. All the people that were bugging the living hell out of you aren't going to be able to access you. You're going to be fed every day. You're going to, you get the idea. Find a way to find peace in it. Why? Because the second that you do, the whole situation will change. I remember, listening to, there was a man who spent, I think it was like 14 or 15 years in jail, and he was completely innocent. It was back, he got convicted before we were able to DNA test. And so he was very angry. He was outraged about, the fact that he was innocent and he was going to jail. The minute I don't know how he went through his spiritual minute, but he literally said the minute he literally just let go of everything, he said he got down on his hands and knees and really dipped into God and prayed honestly to God, not begging God, because when we're begging and we're asking for stuff, we're not really connecting with God. When we're talking to God, we're really trying to concentrate on something. That's why when you're saying a prayer for somebody else, they usually work a hell of a lot better. Because there's a deep desire for that. You want somebody to heal. You want somebody to, get a good result. You want somebody to win their case or whatever. Because you really want that for them, you actually feel driven and you feel confident that it could happen and so you're also connecting with God there in a very strong way. So anyway, this prayer, when he gave it up and just gave up the anger and just literally just collapsed on his knees in the jail cell and just said, God, please bring me a miracle. Please let somebody come up with something. Let somebody find something. The very next day, some shirt was located somewhere, and at that point they had DNA testing, and they were able to, that started the wheels rolling, and he got out of jail. But he is absolutely certain that but for that prayer, and you could tell the way that he was describing the prayer, that, see, God can't see this, however that matrix works. They do not have eyesight, but they can detect us. How? The heart. Believe it or not, this person, the whole heart is involved. The heart, the head, the solar plexus, all the body here. Everything is aligned. I'm going to decide that I'm going to make this work. I see how this is advantageous. Oh my goodness, this is great. Boom. You get the phone call and you get offered the job, or your person calls, that type of thing. So what God wants you to do first and foremost is to get still, connect with God, and this glow around your head there, that is God energy. Those are photons. That's someone who is literally, it's like you're on the phone with the quantum field. You've got a direct connection there. Now, I'm going to suggest to you something, the reason why this may be important. So, this is either this world or something, but this looks a hell of a lot like a different era. It's a beautiful white castle. There's a welcoming feeling, or it could be a different planet. It could be somewhere else. Look, focus on this. The reason why this person is able to time jump, is able to easily be beamed up, and I do believe that there is somebody else, just like with resurrection and with birth, there is a spiritual being that puts the Christ energy in you before you take your first breath, and that assists you in being resurrected. Let me propose this to you, even though I'm absolutely certain I'm right about this. What I had a download from God the other day, and here's what the message was. We're tinkering with something that will affect somebody somewhere. I don't know if it's NASA or science. I don't know, but we are tinkering with something that if it's disrupted any further, there will be nobody being able to. Our babies will be born and they won't breathe, and nobody will be able to resurrect. There is going to be a whole lot of dark energy. So these idiots, whoever these idiots are, and I think they're the idiots who are trying to surpass the Van Allen belt or whatever it is. If they continue to do that, they know not what they're doing. Those dodo heads, Anyway, they're tinkering with something that is going to destroy everything. And so does that matter to you? Nope, because this is where you're going. You're going there anyway. But the reason why you have to get close to God is because there is something about. So you've heard of ghosts, right? Why are there ghosts and demons stuck in how? I've got one in this house, but it actually is a good buddy of mine now that I let him scare the hell out of me. But the reason why his soul could not properly go into that other realm was because his energy was so dark. And in this lifetime, I believe that he did away with himself at the end of the hall. I just had that feeling when I first walked in here. And so that person was not at all there. Like there's no power. There's no connection. We can't connect here, and so can you imagine now? Let's amp it up. This person can easily beam me up, Scotty. Do you know how easy it's going to be to get this quantum jumping here? And let me tell you something hilarious. So I understand that there are some efforts and concern for all these people, right? These rich men of the world who have no faith in God. They are trying to build something like that, and they can't do it. They will never be able to do it. But you will. Anyway, I love you so much, Aquarius. Let me know if it resonated.